Gaming journalism is by far, and when I say by far, I am not saying that lightly. I am not like just saying like, oh, it's by far, but really it's only just like a little bit bad. No, gaming journalism these days, in the year of 2024, is by far some of the worst journalism that is out there altogether. Like, if you take all journalism that is out there in the world today, and you have to admit that professional journalism in this day and age is horrible. Like, whenever it comes to any kind of journalism, I always prefer to look at independent journalists, because, like, to me, you know that they are going to give their actual honest opinions, and it's going to be as raw as possible. When it comes to professional journalisms, like, big companies such as IGN, Kotaku, Eurogamer, and all these other, professional journalism sites, you know that they are going to be some of the worst shit that you've ever seen in your entire life. And to me, it was very adamant of how bad gaming journalism has become just over this past week, with reviews for games such as Star Wars Outlaws, Concord, and Dustborn coming out, just to show you how bad it has gotten. So over the past week, we've had a fluctuate of games that have come out. Over really the last 2 weeks, let's be honest, because we're counting, like, I'm going to be talking about Black Myth Wukong in this video as well. But in terms of the last week, we've had a lot of terrible, and when I say that, I don't say that lightly, but we have had some absolute stinkers come out over the last week or two. That being Star Wars Outlaws, Concord, and Dustborn. Now, if you've seen gameplay of these games, or you've played these games, myself, I haven't personally played them, and I will never play them. I will never spend my money on them, or even the ones that are free. I think Concord is a free game. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's a free-to-play game. No, you actually have to spend money on Concord. Wow. That's, honestly, that's a terrible business decision. If I was them, I actually would have made that game free-to-play. Maybe then they'd actually have more people on the game, but that's nor here nor there. We'll get into that a little bit later in the video. But obviously, these games have come out in the last couple weeks, and they have been ridiculed horribly. Like, terribly. These games are horrible. The gameplay of these games are shit. To put it lightly, they are absolutely terrible. And if you had to, like, see of what the whole entire community is saying about these games, to you, you would go like, oh man, when gaming journalism makes, like, reviews about these games, they're definitely not going to give them a high review. As you would think so. But if you look through each one of these games, being Outlaws, Concord, and Dustborn, all three of these games from IGN have received a 7 out of 10, meaning that it is a good game that you would recommend. Now, I know that a lot of people out there these days will be like, 7 out of 10 is not a good score. You're wrong. 7 out of 10 means it's a good game. 7 out of 10 is a good score. Just remember, when you were in high school, 50% was a pass. If you got above 50%, that means you passed. So if you got a 70% on a maths test, you'd be like, hey, that's a good score. I got a good score on a maths test. Anything above that, 8 out of 10, that's great. 9 out of 10, amazing. And obviously, a 10 out of 10, 100% on a maths test, you'd be like, damn, that's the best that there is. That's what you would think. So 7 out of 10 is a good score. But, like, these games are terrible. And it's really funny because if you watch the reviews for these games, like, they ridicule these games heavily. Like, if we just look at the notes that are taken from each one of these games, and when it comes to their review pages on IGN, you would see 7 out of 10 good. Star Wars Outlaws is a fun, energetic heist adventure with great exploration, but it's hindered by simple stealth, repetitive combat, and a few too many bugs at launch. Like, isn't the whole part of a good game meant to be its gameplay? To me, the fundamentals of a game is its gameplay. That's what it comes down to. Obviously, there are some games where it's just like they're story heavy and the story itself is so good that even if, like, the combat is a little bit hindered, it's absolutely fine. Like, I would say Witcher 3. Witcher 3 is an amazing game. I still would say, like, Witcher 3's combat is still great. Like, it's good, but, like, is it as good as its story? No. Is it as good as like some other games of its caliber in terms of gameplay? No, but it's such a great story. That's what makes it a 10 out of 10 game. But in terms of this, it's like, what kind of story we got? Huh? Terrible story. Yeah, the exploration is kind of good, but the stealth is so bad. I was watching Asmongold play through this game, and oh my god. Oh, the stealth is horrible. Like, you would think that, like, you know, this is Ubisoft, the same company that has made Assassin's Creed for so many years, and they can't even do good stealth in a game. They've made Assassin's Creed since, like, 2007. It's like for, like, over 15 years or something. I can't remember when the first Assassin's Creed came out. It was sometime around the late 2000s. But, like, man, Assassin's Creed 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. Great stealth in that game. And that was from like the early 2010s. And they can't improve on that. Like, the stealth is horrible. And then they go ahead and rate it a 7 out of 10. How is this? How? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. We move over to Concord. Oh, this game itself is just, it's horrible. Like, not only does this game, like, gameplay look horrible, but the game itself looks terrible. And it's funny because, like, if you go to their notes right here for the Concord review, it says it's a very fun sci-fi hero shooter that shows real promise but lacks innovation and content at launch. But you still give it a 7 out of 10. So even though it lacks innovation and has no content, you can't rate a game because it has promise. That's like when No Man's Sky came out and you had to give it a 9 out of 10 because you're like, this game has promise. You're meant to review a game of what it is right now. When you get that copy, what is this game like? I have Concord. I played Concord, and I didn't play Concord, but I've seen gameplay of it. It doesn't innovate at all. And one thing that's really funny as well is that, like, if you go on the internet, if you've been on Twitter, if you've been on YouTube, if you've, like, been in the gaming space for over the past, like, couple months, really, that this game has, like, started to gain not really traction in terms of players, but more or less controversy, you would see that, you know, one of the big things that has been talked about this game is how bad, like, the characters look. I mean, the character designs in this game are some of the worst character designs ever. Like, it's meant to be a hero shooter, and some of these characters that are within this game looked like they were pulled out of your local Walmart. Like, that's not what a hero shooter characters are meant to be. Like, come on, look at Overwatch. That is what you call, like, I know Overwatch now, Overwatch 2 is completely a shell of itself, but, like, when that game first got released, the characters in that game, the character designs were amazing. That's one of the things that the game is praised for. I mean, one of the reasons why the game is still alive in the first place is because of the certain things that those character models are used for. Like, let's be honest. We have to be honest with ourselves here. That's why the game is still half alive. And then we move over to Dustborn. And oh my, this, like, I could make an entire video. I could make a 20-minute video about why this game is so bad. Like, this game itself is, like, it's so hypocritical as well, because, like, it's supposed to be a game of where it's meant to be involving others and meant to be inclusive and all that kind of stuff. But you literally have abilities in this game where you can cancel people and bully people to isolate them from your group. And, like, it's really funny because here in the IGN review, it says it's a good, once again, a 7 out of 10. Dustborn brings angst to a comic caper about an alternative reality America, and you'll get an emotional ride with a few exciting punk performances if you stick with it through a slow start. That doesn't say nothing about this fucking game. How does this game play? What is the story? Emotional? Really? Did you actually play through this game? I haven't played it, but once again, I've seen gameplay of it. And oh my god, remember, once again, gameplay is king. And oh my god, oh, it is bad. And emotional? You want to talk about emotional? The only type of people that find this game emotional are the type of people that spend all their days on Twitter and get offended by some of the littlest shit that happens on that website. That is the type of people that find this game emotional. Who is this girl that reviewed this? Rachel Weber. Let's look through her Twitter real quick. You know what? Them just having Love, Laugh, Lexapro in their bio, that kind of terrifies me just a little bit. Any time that someone has any type of live, laugh, love kind of stuff, I'm automatically scared of that person. And it also says somehow the managing editor at IGN. You know what? Yeah, somehow even I'm surprised by that. I know you're surprised by it, but you know what, lady? I am 100% surprised as well. And when it comes to all this stuff, you might be like, Donnie, maybe that's just their rating system is a bit cooked. Like maybe they just rate these games highly, but they rate other games highly as well. But it's just like the reason why this is so bad and this is just so dumb is because like if you look at some of the other reviews that IGN has put out over the last like few years, you would see why this makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, we don't even have to go back to a few years at first, which we will in a second, but all we have to do is go back just like a week ago or 2 weeks ago when Black Myth Wukong came out. Arguably game of the year. If you have played this game, you yourself know that Black Myth Wukong is game of the year. This game is amazing. I am up to the last chapter at the moment, and I am looking forward to finishing it off. I cannot wait to get through this game. I cannot wait to get to the New Game Plus, because I've been playing it on stream, so I want to, like, you know, go through all the content in my spare time, all the things that I've missed and all that kind of stuff. But they gave it an 8 out of 10. So you're telling me that Star Wars Outlaws, Concord, and Dustborn are, like, here, and then Black Myth Wukong is only, like, this much better than these 3 games? Really? Really? You're actually serious about that? A game with amazing, like, for a linear game, it has some great exploration for a linear game. Great exploration. Combat is so fun. Amazing action combat. A lot of people compare it, like, if you haven't played the game or you've only watched a little bit, a lot of people compare it to like a Souls game. No, it's definitely more Sekiro or even like God of War when it comes to action combat. And because it's like, it's a lot more forgiving than a Souls game is. The visuals of it, I have been playing on low graphics because of stream, and it is still amazing. The talent tree and leveling up, amazing. The world itself is beautiful. The characters are amazing. I mean, the amount of boss fights are so... And you would think that with the amount of boss fights that they have, that, like, the boss fights would become repetitive. But it's so... The thing that surprised me most about this game is that they have so many boss fights and so many different mechanics in these boss fights as well. And you give it an 8! An 8! Oh, it blows my mind. It really does. And like the thing that topped it off for the most is that when I was like looking through, because like IGN posted all like these reviews on their Twitter just over the last, like, I don't know, like 24 hours. The thing that I saw in the comments that like really ticked me off to want to make this video is the fact that they gave the Doom remake back in 2016 a 7 as well. So you give the Doom remake a 7.1. A 7.1. The Doom remake in 2016, which is like, if you've played that or Doom Eternal, like these games, I've only played Doom. I haven't played Doom Eternal yet. I really need to buy it and like play it at some point. But I've played Doom, and oh my god, it is so fun. It is so good. But that somehow is on the same level as Outlaws, Concord, and Dust. I'm done. That's it. I can't take gaming journalism serious anymore, and neither should you. Gaming journalism to me needs not just to be not necessarily be gotten rid of, because I feel like there is a space for gaming journalism, but it doesn't need to be get rid of completely. You know what it needs? A hard fucking reset. It really does, because all these gaming journalists are the fucking same. They're all the same. They all sit around in a circle jerk each other off, going, oh, we're gonna give Dustborn a 7. Oh yeah, we're gonna give that a 7. Black Myth Wukong, because of, you know, that sexism and stuff that came out last year that was actually proved wrong, but we're not going to take our article down. Oh, we're going to give that an 8, and we're going to say it's only a little bit better than Dustborn. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, they're all the fucking same. They're all a joke. They're all the same. Gaming journalism needs a hard reset. There is a space. Like, there is a great opportunity for a company to come along, and I wish I had money to be able to do that. Because if I had money and like popularity, I would 100% start my own gaming journalism site and articles and all that kind of stuff, where I'd flip the script on this bullshit gaming journalism. If anyone wants to hire me, I'd 100% do it. If this video had to get a lot of views, which I hope it does, I would 100% do that without a goddamn doubt, and flip the script on its head. There is a very niche market right now for a proper gaming journalism site, article, like website, all that kind of stuff, whatever, to come along. There is a spot right now. There is a spot open. It's right there for the taking. It really, really is. It's right there for the taking. I'm telling you. It needs a hard reset. But that will be it from me, guys. I really like to hear what you guys have to think about all of this down below. This to me is just a complete joke. It really, really is. And I'm sick and tired of modern day gaming journalism these days. But that's going to be it for me. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Peace out.